Hi everybody, my name is Jan Dufour and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator living just outside of Louisville, Kentucky. Today I'm going to replicate a card, not exactly, but partially, that I saw from my upline, Julie DiMatteo, an extremely talented person. I do want to say if you're coming to me from YouTube and you want the project sheet, you'll need to go to stampmesilly.com, where I'll have the video and the instructions and a project sheet you can download and print. If you need to reach me because you'd like a free catalog or you have any questions, you can either comment on my blog or send me an email, jandufour@yahoo.com. And if there's anything here you see that you would like to order, you can go directly to my store at jandufour.stampinup.net. And I'm going to go ahead and put this away. We have lots of online things. They're exclusive to online. They're not in any of our catalogs. So I would encourage you to go out to my website or whoever else demonstrator that you might have and shop exclusives or exclusive onlines and see lots of products that are there. Some of it gorgeous paper that just went online, so check that out. Today we're doing Autumn Leaves, which is the stamp set and the die set, and we're using the papers from All About Autumn. On one side, they are photorealist, they're actual photos. Lots of gorgeous scenes, and it can be a card all by itself without doing anything else. And incredibly on the back side, foiled, which is my very favorite. All kinds of beautiful papers that are shiny. All right, so let me put this away. Let me give you the measurements. They will be on the project sheet. So again, you can go to my my blog, Stamp Me Silly. This does open up. It's a wonderful Z-fold, X-fold, Z-fold, with a little place to write and the gorgeous papers taking the highlights from it. I'm going to show you how to make this real quick. Again, we're using Autumn Leaves and the die set that's inside. We're using a couple of dies or stamps that are not die cuttable, I guess you could say. Anyway, so the measurements for this card, and I wanted to show you how I scored this. And this is something you should always know. You should, whatever fold you make, you should bend it the other way. So if you make a valley fold, which, whoops, and I just took this off to clean. I apparently did not put it on well. Easily fixed. Don't you love it? There we go. Now it's really on. Shouldn't probably pick it up by the arm anyway, Jan. Alrighty. So to score it, we're going to score at 4. Remember not to cut or use your Simply Score, but I'm just going to use this. And then flip it over and score it at 6 3/4, which means I have to open the arm. And you may notice that my numbers are upside down because most people use the arm at the top. I do not. So mine are upside down and I'm fine with that. So I'm going to score it there. So what I was talking about, let me put this away, is this is a mountain fold. See, can you see that? Yeah, mountain. This is the valley. So since it goes in, I want it to go out. So I'm going to bend it this way. And since this one is a mountain, I'm going to make it a valley. And that's all there is to that. And if you don't do it that way, nobody's going to perish. It's just... it tends to not crack the paper. Not that Stampin' Up's paper really does like cracking, but it is just a way to avoid that. So that is your base, which was 11 by 4 1/4, which is half of a card of cardstock. So you get 2 cards. The next thing you need is the lovely top paper, which is, let's see, 4 by 3 3/4. This is not really directional. because the leaves are all kind of flopping everywhere. But I kind of like it like this. So I'm going to put some mono adhesive, or liquid glue, which I love because it gives you time to straighten out any mistakes you may have done. Not that we make mistakes, because we don't do that. But this is a super quick card. Great to make multiples. Uses up your lovely DSP. And there you have it. We'll decorate it in a moment. Then you're going to take your bottom part, if you will, and it's a 4x4 square. Yes, I know there's books on the back. We're going to go ahead and adhere that. And because it's so beautiful, we let it show, which is part of the fun of this card, because you get to see both sides of beautiful paper. There you go. And then in the center, which I apparently didn't cut, let's put that down here and cut that out. And that should be 4 by 2.5. So I'll cut the 2.5 first. Ooh, but apparently I will do it on a sheet that doesn't have a mess on it. Apparently I didn't know what my fingers were doing a while ago. 2 by 4. So we're cutting off that quarter piece that I had. Alrighty. Put that back. And we decorated that a little bit. This is copper clay. And so I used copper clay to stamp. There's, different stamps in the stamp set that you can use. I decided, and actually I'm going to take a little bit less than the original. I just wanted a little bit of color in the corners. And again, I'm not putting the whole thing on there. I just wanted something to round it out, if you will. I will need that again, so I'll leave that out. Now, if you're making this and you know you're sending it right away, I would write whatever I want to write first and then paste it down. That way, if, you make a mistake in your writing. Now, I never do that, of course, which is why I use a friction pen, because you can erase that. It comes in very handy. All right, so now you have the basics of the mechanism, all right? And we're going to decorate the top. Because I have these out, I'm going to go ahead and stamp the greeting, which of course you can always leave this blank and put something on it later. But I'm going to go ahead. First, this is the way I would normally do it. I would stamp it first, and then I would take it and die cut it. But I'm going to be really brave. Here's the die cut. We'll see. We'll see how good this is. And I don't cut my videos, so you get what you see right here. All right. It is photopolymer. I'm not quite over the top of it, but we're going to go with this. We'll see how well it came out. It came out perfect. All right, so we're going to set that aside. And then now I can close up this color because we're not stamping it anymore. And I wanted to show you, this one is first generation stamping, which means I inked it and I stamped, and that's what's on here. But I thought it was pretty interesting. I actually did second generation at the same time. And I kind of like those too, mostly because this is kind of muted. So let me show you what I mean. First, I stamped, got it all nice and juicy. I think I need to re-ink. You want it all nice and juicy. So I stamped it, and then I stamped it again. And that's the second generation. I did the same thing. And this was pumpkin pie. All of the directions will be on the sheet with all the colors and the measurements. But I did the same thing using Mossy Meadow for the other leaf. I don't know a lot about leaves, but I think this is supposed to be yellowish, but we're going with it. So here's my first generation. And here is my second generation. They kind of look very similar, but anyway. So then I took this to the die cut machine, my cut, stamp, and emboss. And I came out with the first generation, which I put on this card. And this time I'm going to use the second generation. And we'll see which one you like better. I'm going to like both of them because I have the hiccups, and that's awesome while you're filming. Just because I like that. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this down with my 2A glue. Again, the great ability to move it if I don't like where it is. And then we're going to put this one on. I always like to give you options. And then we're going to do some dimensionals. Well, if I can get the second dimensional off without sticking it to my finger permanently. And this gives it a little bit of elevation. It's not terrible. It's definitely a mailable card. I put it off center. You really could kind of put it anywhere, but I guess I like it here the best. Put that down. And of course, just because we like bling, we're going to add the 2023-2025 in color dots. There's lots of them. This is the copper clay. Use my pick tool. And I use the medium size dot. Well, this usually works really good. The other side of the take your pick tool, oops, also works. The one with the rubbery stuff. I don't know what it is. Anyway, there you go. And there you have it. We'll put our tools away, and I will show you the difference between the two cards. And I would be really happy if you would just comment below as to which card you like better. First generation or second generation. Don't forget, go to stampmesilly.com if you want the project sheet, and I will see you again later. Bye.